We talked about some of the preparation that people can do and some of the things that they should look at beforehand. I want to talk about the people that hesitate and some of the
Mm,
people that may come to things too late because they saw something, they saw a void that they could have filled, and they either analysis paralysis or did something along the way where it made them miss that moment and what the cost of that moment may be.
yeah, sometimes when you have to be prepared for opportunity, right?
Mm,
Especially as a business owner, you have to be prepared for the opportunity to present itself. And if you're not prepared for that opportunity or you hesitate, you hem and haw about the investment of it, the return
mhm.
of it. Sometimes, that opportunity just floats away and you don't get a chance to partake in that opportunity because you hesitated too much. And I'm not saying that hesitation is not needed
Mhm.
because a lot of times it is. You need to
More than
gut
not.
check it.
Yeah.
You need
Mhm.
to gut check it first, but sometimes, you know, not hesitating, you will miss the opportunity if you hesitate too long. And
Yeah.
it could have been the best opportunity for you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But those are lessons learned, and it's not until you have retrospective thoughts about it that you will even be aware that you missed the opportunity,
Or you took advantage of it at the perfect time. Yeah.
or you took advantage of it at the perfect time. "Oh, I'm glad I got in at the ground level," you
Mhm.
know? But
Mhm.
you never know one way or the other until it has already passed.
Absolutely.
So, to
Absolutely.
me, that just for me, like, as an entrepreneur, you take time to reflect. You take time and reflect on the things that have happened to you in business. And
Mm.
as we are just into the new year, like reflecting back on what last year did for you, whether or not you hesitated too long or you took an opportunity, now is a great time to go back and do those reflections to see if you didn't do them at the end of the year, right? To
Mhm.
see where how can I improve as the leader in my organization, so that I am aware of opportunities when they present themselves to me? Or am I just being skeptical and hesitant?
Yes. Yes. There are one of the things that I tell people is there are preventative measures and there's reactionary solutions.
Mhm.
When you're reacting to something, chances are you may get in, but you may not have gotten in when everybody else was getting in, or you may pay a steeper price to be able to take advantage of that thing. But I love what you covered because it speaks to understanding. Again, we're talking about pattern recognition in a way.
Mhm.
You can spot it faster when you've seen it and you missed it
Mhm.
than the first time you look at it and go,
Yes.
what is that? So it's one of those things where the people that they see doing certain things, and this is why I have issues with, well, I'll do the air quote gurus, is because that's where I get triggered by the all you have to do is.
Mhm.
And I'm guilty, or well, at least I was guilty. Hopefully, I still don't do it. But I used to be guilty of it's simpler than you think, and it's not simple to the people that are going through it for the first time. That
Exactly.
first
Mhm.
iteration, you have to be able to document those things and
Mhm.
figure out what you're doing. That's why when I look at the failure rate, I try to explain to people it goes up, it doesn't go down, and it goes
Mhm.
up because there are people that may, a broken clock could be right twice. So you may
Mhm.
get through the first year, you may get through the second year, but if you're not documenting and figuring out the patterns that you're seeing along the way,
Mhm.
then when the pressure raises and you get up to that certain point, that's why I say people have further to fall.
Yes.
So I think it's important to be able to recognize that because realistically, it's going to take you at least 18 months to be able to forecast things that you're seeing in your business. The first time through a year, you're just kind of trying to validate the idea.
Yep.
And then going into that next year, you may have that 6 months where you can say, well, I can base this 6 months on that initial 6 months. And that's where you can figure out the slow times, the times where you may be a little bit busier.
Mhm.
You start to find those little patterns where you can say, okay,
Mhm.
I can plan for that, as opposed to just winging it. And when you first start a business, there's a lot of winging it. And
It is.
you can be fortunate enough where you can do really well. And this one of the scary things for me is When I talk to someone that's never failed or never really had a setback, I'm like, oh, I'm fearful for you because you have no idea what it's like when it hits you. And if you don't have a plan or a foundation in place, it can set some people back where they're so shook by it that they may never venture back into that
Yeah.
world again.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's really good because it does happen. It definitely happens. But, as an entrepreneur, you have to reflect.
Mm,
You have to think about and document along the way what is happening in the business. Why did I get that result?
yes.
Like, so that you can repeat that again if that's the result you were looking for. If that wasn't the result you were looking for, don't do it again. Why you keep doing stuff? Why you keep bumping your head up beside the wall and it's
Hmm.
not working for you? Just because somebody told you to do it?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's where discernment starts to come into play,
Yes.
because you can't really teach people how to discern. But if you start looking at those, like you say, patterns that happen throughout entrepreneurship, then you can begin to discern whether information that is being given to you is
Hmm.
actually working for you. Because maybe that
Yes.
information worked for them or that group of people, but it is not working for you. And if you're not documenting that along the way through metrics, let us say,
Hmm.
um, then you will lose something over the long run if you're not documenting that because you can go back to it and reflect on it
Yeah.
and figure out the reasons why something worked or did not work.
Absolutely. I think this is one of the reasons why I say you're a kind soul. And you're very nurturing because in my mind, what I heard was you're setting yourself up to fail. I am
Yeah.
very much a you've got spinach in your teeth kind of guy. So I'm listening to that and going, yeah, I mean, if you're not documenting what it is that you're looking at, then you can very
Mhm,
easily run back into that same thing
mhm.
again. And life has a very sick sense of humor of it will continue to present the same thing to you until you learn that lesson
Until you
before it
learn the
allows you
lesson.
to move past it. And
Yes.
yeah, I think it's really, really important to
Mhm,
document some of these things. And it's there are also the people where very much what you just covered, that pattern that you've seen it before, and
mhm.
they're able to get back up to that number faster. When I see people say, well, this is how I made, six figures, seven figures in this amount of time, I've had so many questions. And my questions are give me all the surrounding factors that you didn't include in that statement. Is this your first iteration of it?
Mhm,
What kind of support did you have around it?
mhm.
Because there are some people that may start a business, but if you have people around you that have audiences and all the rest of these things that can build up your brand faster, then give me that context because you're
Yeah.
going to tell me that I can make six figures, seven figures in 6 months. And sure, maybe, but
Mm,
I may not be able to do it in the way that you did it because you already had a pre-existing audience. So you have friends that were
exactly.
willing to share it to their pre-existing audience.
Mhm,
There are so many different factors that go into things like that, and I think they're doing people a real disservice by not filling in the blanks.
mhm,
But I also understand, again, passion, purpose. My passion is to be able to make a difference. Their purpose is to be able to generate money. So, from the
mhm.
business side of it, I get it. It's like I'm going to tell you that I did something, and when it doesn't go well for you, the typical response is, "Well, you didn't do it right,"
Right,
and you don't get educated in that. The education is hot stove. I won't do that again. Well,
right.
what in that did I get wrong? So then this way, the next time something comes up, I can say, okay, well, this part of it was right, but here's the part that somebody didn't say. And
Ex
some of that is really trial and error.